It is the time of the World War II. Japan is at war with America. An American prisoner of war gets washed away to the doorstep of a Japanese Dr. Sadao. The choice is very hard for Dr. Sadao and his wife. Should they hand him over to the police or save him from dying? Being a doctor, Sadao gives top priority to save the life of a dying man. Not only does he save him, but also helps him in escaping to freedom. But first, before we begin with the detailed summary of our chapter, The Enemy, let us first know about our author. So, Pearl S. Burke earned a Pulitzer Prize in 1932 for her novel The Good Earth. She won a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1938. She continued to write prolifically thereafter, choosing China as the setting of the majority of her work. Concurrent with her writing career, Burke was active in humanitarian efforts to protest Asian Americans against racial intolerance by increasing awareness. Dr. Sadao Hoki, a famous Japanese surgeon and an accomplished scientist, lived in a house on the Japanese coast. The house was set upon rocks above a narrow beach surrounded by pine trees. As a child, Sadao used to climb these trees. He often visited the South Sea Islands with his father. His father believed that the islands were stepping stones to Japan's future to gain perfection. Sadao's father was very serious and traditional man. He never joked or played with him, but took infinite pains for his son. Sadao's education was his chief concern. He even sent Sadao to America to complete his studies. Sadao's father inculcated in him values of patriotism and national loyalty when the latter was quite young, and Sadao had always cherished these great values. The Second World War started, but Sadao was not sent with the troops because he was about to make a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean, which means would provide help in something. Also, the general was so old and was being treated by Sadao, and he might require an operation anytime. Sadao had met Hannah in America, but he had waited until he was sure that she was Japanese before deciding to marry her. His father would never have approved of her otherwise. Sadao recalled that his meeting with Hannah was an accident. Sadao lived in Professor Harley's house and had almost not gone to the professor's house that night, where he met Hannah, a new student. After Sadao and Hannah had finished their studies, they came home to Japan. The marriage was solemnized in the traditional Japanese way, according to his father's wishes. They were a happy couple. One night, Sadao and Hannah were enjoying the view of the sea from their veranda when they saw something black coming out of the mists. It was a man. He staggered, which means to walk or move unsteadily, a few steps, and then the mists hid him again. When they saw him again, he was crawling. Sadao thought that he was a fisherman washed ashore from his boat. The surf beyond the beach was spiked with rocks, which means having sharp points or edges. The man might be badly hurt. They found the man wounded. Hannah realized that it was a white man. The fellow was young and unconscious. The man was bleeding profusely. Sadao saw that a bullet wound had reopened. Sadao packed the wound with the sea moss. The man moaned with pain, but he did not awaken. Sadao wanted to throw the man back into the sea, as he had now realized that he was an American prisoner of war. Hannah also agreed. Sadao knew that giving shelter to the enemy would get them into trouble. He was torn between his moral duty as a doctor, which urged him to save the dying man, and his national duty, which required handing him over to the army as a patriot. Both Hannah and Sadao finally decided to take the man home, as he was in need of urgent medical attention. They decided that they should tell the servants also. They would tell them that they intended to hand him over to the police. The man had been starved for a long time, and he was light as a fowl, which means light as a bird. They carried him to Sadao's father's bedroom, as his father was no longer alive. The old man had never allowed a foreign object in his room. The American was very dirty and needed to be washed. Hannah said that Humi, the governess, might wash him. She went to fetch her. When she returned to the kitchen, she found the other two servants frightened at what Sadao had told them. The servants tried to convince Sadao that he must hand over the American and Hannah had to wash him herself. Sadao was ready to operate. He was completely absorbed in his work. He told Hannah that she would need to give anesthetic to the man. Hannah probably had never seen an operation and started vomiting. Sadao was irritable and impatient with his enemy, as he was not able to help Hannah in her distress. The man groaned with pain. Interestingly enough, Hannah was able to assist her husband in the operation. Hannah noticed deep red scars on the neck of their enemy. She wondered if the war torture stories she had heard were actually true. She recalled that General Takima was a ruthless man who didn't even spare his wife. Sadao murmured while operating, as was his habit. He called the enemy his friend. Sadao finally succeeded in taking the bullet out. He was sure that the man would live in spite of his sufferings. Hannah took good care of the man. She served him as the servants refused to enter the room. The man was surprised to see Hannah talk in English. Hannah told him that she had lived in America for a long time. The enemy revealed his name to Hannah. His name was Tom. Sadao was still confused about handing him over to the police. The servants resented their decision to help the American soldier. Hannah told Sadao that the servants would not live in the house if the enemy was still present. The servants thought that the couple liked Americans. Sadao tried to clarify that all Americans were his enemies. They talked about the consequences of harboring an enemy. Hannah could hear what they were talking about. On the seventh day, the servants left. On the same day, a messenger in official uniform came to Sadao's house. Hannah was so scared that she was unable to speak. She thought that he was there to arrest Sadao. In fact, the messenger had come to inform Sadao that the general needed him. Looking at Hannah in utter distress, Sadao decided to get rid of the man. Sadao told the whole episode to the general. The general knew that Sadao was indispensable to him, which means very important. He never trusted other Japanese surgeons. The general promised Sadao that nothing would happen to him. The general then planned to get the American soldier assassinated. He told Sadao that his private assassins were very competent. and would also remove the dead body. Sadao thought that this plan would be the best for his family. After that meeting, Sadao spent 3 restless nights waiting for the assassins, but they didn't come. Finally, the torture became too much to bear for him. He planned to get rid of the enemy himself. Sadao told the escape plan to Tom. He also warned him that he needed to escape, as the news of his presence was not hidden anymore. He arranged a boat, food, drinking water, and clothing for the young man and also gave him his own flashlight. He told Tom that he should flash the light 2 times if he needed something and flash it once if everything was fine. He must do this only when the sun dropped under the horizon. Even Hannah didn't know about this plan. Sadao had told Tom to wait for a Korean ship. Sadao went to the general and informed him that the American had escaped. The general informed Sadao that he forgot about the prisoner as he was unwell. He told Sadao not to leak out this information to anybody. Back at home, Sadao remembered his days in America and the Americans he met there. He wondered why he could not kill Tom, his enemy. So now let us look at the themes of our story. So the first theme is patriotism. His room had no Western furniture. There were mats on the floor and wall cupboards with bedding. It suggests a complete rejection of Western culture and cultural conflict between East and West. Dr. Sadao was deeply patriotic, but his patriotism surpassed the boundaries of nationality and embraced humanity as a whole. As a Japanese man, he was deeply patriotic, but his professional ethics and love for human values and human life surpassed the narrow definition of patriotism. He was truly patriotic and at the same time truly human. The second theme that we spot in the chapter is that of a professional ethics. Once his patient was out of danger and regained his health, the doctor, as a true patriot, informed the general about him and agreed to the plan to eliminate him. The third theme we get to see is moral courage. She was convinced of her husband's good intentions and supported him. Dr. Sadao was an epitome of moral courage. He put his professional ethics before the narrow understanding of patriotism of that time. He was deeply patriotic but decided to save the life of the patient who was about to die. He even helped the man to escape from his house and made sure he was safe. So, the message that we extract from this beautiful story is about the importance of human values. Universal human values take precedence over narrow definitions of patriotism and sectarian considerations such as racism, nationalism, and chauvinism. The universal brotherhood and sisterhood that unites all human beings is capable of breaking the barriers that divides people from one another. We need moral courage to rise over narrow constraints of nationalism and embrace greater human values. The greatest responsibility of a human being is to protect life, not to destroy it. So see you in our next session. Till then, stay home, stay safe.